Not today, pal. Not today.
Yeah, listen. Well, I want to start by saying I'm going to kiss your ass a little, which I don't like to do, but I feel like
Wow, he means it. When he does it, he means it.
I do. I feel like as somebody who has a little bit of the OCD and stuff, watching you through COVID was very comforting. Seeing somebody who is having fun, but also dealing with the shit and dealing with your stuff, and just how much effort you put into the your podcast. I think if there was a podcast awards, I had to make a little photo for you. That if there was a podcast awards, it would look something like this.
Oh, I love that jacket.
Yes.
You look so... Are you going to space after?
I think I'm going to space after.
I think you run away with all...
Oh, that's this year.
Yeah, congratulations.
Wow,
Dick
thank
Clark
you so
Productions.
much.
You don't remember? It was a big night for you.
Dude, I get awards after awards. I gotta say, my
Yeah.
teeth look great. Did you do something to them as well, or is that really?
That's
you,
how your
baby.
teeth look, brother. That's how we see you.
Thank you.
Wow, congratulations.
And also one thing I've loved for a long time is you have one of my favorite bits of all time when you get on the stage and don't really say anything.
Yes.
Which is a very old thing, right? I feel like I remember watching that before I knew even who you were.
So I never. The video's an old thing. The video is from like, it's I don't know 15 some years ago.
I
but
love.
I have something that's going on in my head right now
Please.
that I need to ask.
Of course.
Do you? I mean, yeah, I feel like you can't answer. I feel like you already buried yourself too far. If like I'm going to ask you a question where I feel like it's going to be tough for you to tell me the truth if you aren't already.
He can only tell the
whatever
truth.
you've got.
Okay.
It's okay.
Did you look this stuff up before I came on?
No,
or do you really know about stuff I've done?
Yeah. Tyso and your whole
Dude,
He's a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching you guys. I just rewatched my fourth or fifth time of The Sopranos.
Wow.
I finished
By the way,
a
I
couple
know
months ago.
I know your stuff so much. I don't even know if this is a bit yet. I don't know if you really enjoy
You don't
me
know
as a
very well,
person.
but when I'm doing a bit, I have fake mustaches for them.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you have one for us, too.
Oh, mustaches
Is that for
you?
me?
No, I used them all this
I'll wear
weekend.
one.
I
Oh.
had a whole bunch. Yeah, that's wild that you even know who I am. I'm
Yeah,
such
yeah.
a fan of what you guys do, and I was really excited to come on here because I wanted to meet you guys and maybe finesse it enough to someday you'll come on mine.
We
course.
love it.
Because I'm
Yeah.
going to ask some questions when you come on mine, but this is your
Hell
podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Jamie,
no, this podcast is a back and forth, so we
When-
don't have to be in charge.
During COVID, he would have people climb up his building. Like
It was the
climb,
second floor, and it was
climb,
a building.
climb up his terrace in LA to sit on the terrace through the door shut and do the pod.
It looked great, though, didn't it?
It was fucking. I loved it.
It was a little bit
You
of a
social
novelty.
distanced
Yeah,
pod.
It was
yeah,
so
my
good.
OCD. It was bad.
Yeah.
It is, as I
Yeah.
guess you are as well.
Yeah, well, it's weird. Mine comes like depending on my health, like my mental health, it comes and goes. Right now, it's hard to tell because I isolate myself so much that it's hard for me to be like, yeah, my OCD is really bad because I don't come into a lot of, social interactions. Where like you have to like go to comedy clubs, fly around, stay at hotels. It would be a lot harder for me.
You've always been like that?
No,
No.
I got an STD in my like early 20s, and it changed everything after that.
What was the
because
That's all
STD?
it takes.
It was called like trick something. It's like not one of the ones that like
Is it
everyone
itchy?
knows
Is
about.
it burny? What was it?
No, it was just like there was. I mean, it's gross. I don't want to. But stuff, there's stuff coming out, and you're like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna
Do you have a
die.
picture?
No, no, I don't.
I looked being like,
You would want to see that photo? I don't think you'd want to
So
see.
you-
that
I
photo.
didn't think it was yours, but
But then
Google
after,
image.
like, I remember spending a week. Like, I remember calling the doctor. Oh, come on, guys.
what's that?
I remember that's not it. I remember spending a week wondering what it was because they were like, "Oh, well, we'll see you on Thursday," and I just remember sitting there and the horror because I didn't, like I don't know when I was 22, I didn't know there were levels to STDs and this. I thought it was like when you have an STD, it's forever, you're gonna die. Like I thought it was really, and then I
And
remember,
you still didn't wear a condom.
yeah, no, come on. But after
HBO.
it feels so good.
That's what it'll do to you.
After that, it changed me. It changed me to start thinking like everything is gross. Things are
Right.
gonna. But
you
it
need
also,
a condom for your body,
yeah,
buddy. I hear you.
yeah.
I
How
grew-
long is?
I grew up with a brother that had really, really bad OCD, but it would like shift to different things. does that happen?
Could you give an example?
Like when it began with him, it was like putting down a cup. He'd have to go.
Right.
Then it was checking the locks and the stove like every night obsessively.
Rituals.
Then it was body hair. Like he had to rid like all body hair, like and shower constantly.
Yeah.
Then, and then it would just like, but he would leave one behind and then get into kind of another one.
Yeah, I get like that.
You do?
Yeah, when I was a kid, the rituals were a lot more. The touching, the tapping. I used to. One was I would have to skip, and I would have to like hop on a foot, and I found like a trick where like you could hold it in. Like with these things, it's a release. Like it could have different feelings if you don't do it, but the reason you do it is because you think something bad might happen, you get anxious, whatever the thing might be, like you just want to do it. I feel like people that don't have this could get it if you have to crack your knuckles and you feel like it, like I just want to crack it. But then I just want to skip, or I just want to shave all my body hair or something.
Yeah.
But there was one where I would have to hop, and I learned that, all right, if I could just hold it in, when I leave a conversation, I'd be like, all right, I'll see you guys. And I would hop out. So I would have to, like, when I was in conversations, I wasn't present at all. I was waiting just until I couldn't not hop. And like, there was tons of them. And then it gets into a thing like even on my podcast, I have people sit on a blanket. I don't like outdoor clothes inside.
Yeah.
Same.
And it's surprising that like there's some different levels. Like that one makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The hopping, it's like I think it's just a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it gives you a false sense of control in a lot of ways. Like mine gets really bad when I fly, and I get into things where like if I do this perfectly before I get on the plane, we won't crash. Which
and
is so.
Texting me was one of them too.
Texting you used to be one.
While
and
driving to the airport.
and I get. I get it's this false sense of control that then if I try and release that, if I try and go, you deserve to be comfortable on this plane and nothing's going to happen to you, I start to feel like I don't deserve that comfort and to feel okay. So then I go back to the rituals, and it's like this thing of going back and forth. It's very.
That's why you got to do bits.
Yeah, but I always fly
So that's
alone,
helped
and
you.
I don't like talking to strangers.
Oh, you don't have to talk to them. You could just do bits.
Pantomiming?
A lot of times I will. This is not necessarily related to OCD, but I'm sure I could fake a connection. But I'm a bit guy. I love bits. I have this. This isn't about like. I have this feeling of, and it helps in this moment. There's a connection to that, but I have this feeling where like, there's always a camera on me, and I don't mean that like necessarily I'm being watched or what I'm doing is important. What I mean that as in, it helps me kind of like value bits or information over my ego some, because it's like, imagine if I was watching this on something, not I am the person doing or not doing this thing. So, and it pops in my head a lot of the time. So whenever I remember, oh, there's a camera there. And not that there is, but like usually there's nobody watching. Sometimes somebody might just be looking at somebody in a public place. Whenever I have that perspective, and then I think to myself, ooh, bit time. Is it just for me? I mean, yes, unless somebody's watching, but like, I'll be walking past windows or something and there's nobody sitting right there, and I'll pretend like I'm going down steps. And it's silly, it's very little boyish, but like when I'm in that playful mindset of doing little bits, I'm not as anxious. And I don't know how you feel about this, but like when when COVID happened, it's not, my OCD didn't just get bad to not get COVID. I mean, some of the stuff wasn't as logical as not being afraid of germs. It was just like, controlling somehow, and
100%, yeah.
Doing bits helps me not be anxious.
I love that.
So you don't have to do bits with people.
Yeah.
Right.
Just if you go around, just pretend you're Anthony Jr.
Yeah.
How fun would that be?
Not
if
so
people
fun.
saw, because you'd be ashamed of that. But let me tell you something. If
I just want to try something new. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
new is done, dude.
Yeah?
New is done.
In with the old?
In with the old, out with the new.
Vintage is cool.
I think that if I didn't know you, and I get it, because you live a life of, a lot of people know you as this thing, and I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. It shouldn't be, but I imagine it is if that's, your life. But like, and I were to meet you, and then you were to be in character, I would just be like, this guy's doing bits.
Yeah.
I would love it.
I'll start being Anthony Jr. at the airport.
You mean like if
move.
somebody came up to you and you're like, you played Anthony Jr. in Sopranos, and you'd be like, what do you mean I played it? You
I
mean
like
you
that.
like
I don't even address it.
I just mean going up to ordering something from a Starbucks and your name's Anthony Jr.
oh,
Just little shit. Little shit.
I get a credit card. This is Anthony
Wait,
Jr.
you and I
on it.
should do an entire day around town as Meadow and AJ.
See,
Well,
my anxiety's going up
there's your
now.
sketch.
My anxiety's going up from this.
Good. Feel it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll eat a
Feel
gummy,
it.
and then we'll go do it.
Great. I just get to be me.
Yeah,
No,
Oh,
I want to
dude,
get
you
high.
are
because you
Anthony
could just make
Jr.
fun of me
I
all
know.
day.
You're so depressed, dude.
I'm so sorry.
If you were acting all depressed and stuff, and then people are like, what's going on? And you're like, what's the point of it all, man?
Yeah.
And you start doing that shit, and you're like, I think my dad's in the mob. Spoiler alert.
What's so weird is that, like, because I never watched the show, it's like these are conversations I just had 18 years ago, and I don't really remember. I don't remember a lot of.
Will you help us with our bit?
Wait.
Since we both haven't really watched it.
So I've seen a few episodes of this podcast and a good amount of clips, and I've never heard you say this. Is this a thing that you have said before? You
Hasn't seen any. I've only seen up to season 4.
I saw, like, at the premiere, they would show you 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Right.
Every.
Dude, actors, and don't get me wrong, I'm an actor, dramatic, award winning. I don't get it. It's maybe the best show of all time, and you haven't seen it. Why? Because do you watch other stuff that you've been
So
in?
I started in COVID watching it with my husband because he had never seen it, and it was having this resurgence during COVID. Like a lot
Sure.
of people our age were watching it for the first time, right?
Our age.
Meaning because
You and your husband?
no,
They're not the same
We're
age.
not the same age. He's 8 years younger than me.
Oh,
no,
I'm 27, so I just didn't understand what you were saying.
got it. So I'm 43.
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I love it. What do you mean? Keep it coming.
How old do you think?
But
I am?
we were 16 and 12 when
23?
the show was on.
Right.
Right? So people our age weren't necessarily watching it, is what I'm
course.
saying. So people, I think, were rediscovering the show during COVID. Anyway, we started watching. We got up to season 4. And I did watch it and be like, oh my God, I get it.
And you were a little fucking brat.
I was,
sorry.
of course. But it also was really cool to have just another layer of appreciation for what I got to be a part of. Because, we got it to a certain extent, but it was all so much about the personal experience and the relationships and those types of memories. But I definitely, walked away, like standing a little straighter, being like, yeah, TV is so great now. And to watch it and be like, oh, I was on one of those great
Why
shows.
didn't you finish the show?
I just got a little burnout. Like 4 seasons of the show, I just needed a break, and
But
then I just haven't gotten back.
You also said that, like, as it became more like when you were 14 in the show or 16, whatever, it didn't feel like you. And then when you got older, it started to feel like you.
And then there was like, oh God, my thing went out. But I got as it got to a certain point, there was the 5th seasons when personal things were happening in my life, and when I watch it, I'm like, I know what I was going through
Thanks for
when I
bringing that
shot
up, right?
that, and it was not the time for me to kind of go through that, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
What's your excuse?
Me, I like when people come up to me and ask me questions about the show. I don't have to engage. I don't have to be like, oh yeah, in season 3 when that person, why did they do this? I don't
There's
like.
no way that's the reason. You don't have to engage either way.
No, but I like being able to go. I have no opinion about what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't go there with you. So when people are talking about Sopranos, I just go, that was 20 years ago. I don't remember it.
Okay.
And I like it. And I also think, again, not to fucking bring this podcast down, but when
Just try not to swear as much.
yeah, when your friend, who you're a very close person to you, passed away, I don't want to sit there and watch like 80 hours of home footage of him that it might feel like and have to see it. Like even just seeing photos of him, sometimes it's hard or that. Like I'd rather not sit there and watch 80 hours of that.
Well, then I hate to ask this question, but have you not seen Burt Wonderstone?
I wish I knew what that was because I'm sure it's.
Was he in that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
What is Burt
It
Wonderstone?
did not do well, and I really think it's a secret. One of the funniest movies I've ever seen. It's Steve Carell and
Oh.
Steve Buscemi as Vegas magicians.
Jim is in that?
Yeah, he plays the
Yeah,
owner
there
of the hotel.
Wow.
And it's very broad. It's very big. It's Jim Carrey. It's Steve Carell being.
Oh my God, these are all like my
Characters.
favorite people in the world. How
It's-
have I not watched this movie?
That's Jim right there?
Yeah.
Wow. He looks like De Niro there.
Oh.
Wow.
It's good.
Jamie,
gonna-
Jamie, I want to show you the bit that I was talking about that Rick does. We have the video of it. I feel like you, Jamie, would love
Okay.
this bit, Zolo. If you could.
I mean,
I'm sorry that you have to watch this if that makes you. Now you know how I feel watching Sopranos.
Yo,
Yeah,
will
this
you-
is just
will
like
you
The
close door for
Sopranos.
me, please, for someone? Would you mind? Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
I don't think
Did
it's
we
good
ever go on
translate
somewhere
if you
from
don't
the
watch a
Midwest
lot
or
of it.
anywhere in Ohio or anywhere near there? Yeah, Springfield, Ohio. is funny, man. I'm from Cleveland. A lot sometimes. Like, you know, a lot of times you ever go up and like go maybe a roller coaster. You ever been to Cedar Point? Yeah. Cedar Point's fucking dope.
It's just
You
10
know what I
minutes
hate
of
about
this.
amusement parks? Like you go in and it's like, yeah, okay, we got a good time. It's gonna be fine. Like you get there and you realize it's all easy to get 2 hours to get on what the other this tall. It's stupid to do. So you get it. Sometimes you go and you
This
get
is my favorite.
You should see The Sopranos. If you like this.
Yeah. Let me. You bring
We get it.
How long
Oh,
did you do that
I lo-
for?
It's like
10
12
minutes.
minutes.
Oh my
long.
god,
It's-
that's brilliant.
And you
used to
hear people go through the phases of laughter in the
I
audience,
used
which
to
I
do
also
that
love.
when people would I don't drink much. I mean, I have a drink every now and then. But I don't really drink. And if I do, I have one. Really don't like it. I don't like being around people who are drunk. I mean, yeah, I really hate it.
Yeah, it's brutal.
That was a defense I learned that when people are drinking, that's how I talk to them.
That's
and
so
it-
wow.
And do they
I like it
follow?
even
They
more
fi-
now.
well, I don't think they follow,
They
but
pretend they follow.
they try to follow more than if I was just talking to them. So now they're with me. They're trying to understand, and then they realize that they're not able to, and then they back out. So it's not touching and so much and loud and in my face. It's just hold on. Let me get. It's like talking to a dog.
Can this be my airport bit?
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Can I steal this as my airport
If
bit?
you're good at it,
I don't know, but I
You
let me
need
hear.
to
Let
get
me hear you
people
try it.
yeah, they want to fly in. I mean, I'll take a fly on that, you know?
But try to say real stuff too, though. Like, what's up, man?
You want me to be the
I'll-
non-guy?
yeah,
I'm the okay. I'm the,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the, yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
man, how are you?
I'm good, man. You been good?
Yeah, man, everything's pretty great over here.
What is that? Well, like, what are you guys doing with it? Is it everything? Is it like just traveling for a little bit, or?
Yeah, no, we're headed out to see her family.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how long? Or what is it like? So you guys like you see a family and then you're doing your stuff?
Yeah, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys don't want to talk to me anymore.
No.
That's what when people are drunk, they're like,
You have to teach me how to do this with my kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. The
kidding.
developmental years, and they want to feel
They
safe
love
with
it.
you.
Yeah, this might affect
Oh,
their
yeah.
frontal lobe.
Nice.
Thanks, brother.
Where'd you learn about the frontal lobe?
Uncle
Thanks,
Robby.
Rogan.
Fucking Rogan, dude.
Where else? Yeah, that's where I
Where he
learned
learns
everything.
everything.
Really?
Yeah, that's all I
learned it from my therapist.
Frontal lobe.
Does your OCD calm down with women? Does it not make sense sometimes where you're like, why doesn't this bother me? And then you're like, oh, because it's a woman.
Well, while we're in the conversation, do you mind giving me your right hand? Because it is a little weird OCD thing I have that I try not to do too much.
What did he do it with? His left?
His left.
Oh, that's awkward.
Well, he hasn't
You
even
want
watched The Sopranos.
Right to right?
Dude, you know what? I don't live in Austin, but if I did, and I won't.
Should we just make the rest of this podcast now? I need
Nope.
I need the left.
Because you're just fucking with me, and that's not what you need. And if you did, I would have a conversation with you, but that's not what you need.
So you're not gonna give it to me?
No, because you're just trying to.
So you're gonna tell me
I
if my
think you should
neuroses
be
are
the new
valid?
pro-
That is it.
of the
I know
show.
that isn't your neuroses.
How do you know?
This is what this is actually what I do for a living. All the other stuff that I do is just an outlet for me to tell you, because there are some things I know.
There's 20 minutes left in this podcast.
I assure you.
You're gonna make me sit.
All right, I have a question for you. He can't lie? Tell me the truth.
He
Is that
can't.
really a thing that you need from me?
It has now become one.
No. It could become one if
No,
we enable it.
now. No, now it is. At first it wasn't. Now I don't know how to go on.
I had an idea if I moved to Austin, and I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh, just because of this?
Nice.
You feel better?
Yeah.
Okay.
And knowing you're not moving here is even. That's what gave me the
Oh, wait a
release.
minute. That doesn't feel good. You flipped it on me.
That's what gave me the release, the real release. Are there things you have to tell women about in the leading into the relationship where you're like, hey, I know this, because that's what when I'm setting things up, I'm like, hey, I know this is weird.
Yeah, let
Like,
me hear it. Tell me what you do.
I don't want your phone in the bed. I don't want your phone sitting on my pillow. I don't like. It drives me insane. And I very much go, this is me being crazy. It's not you. You're totally normal for having your phone on my pillow, but I cannot. I will need to change everything in the bed if I go look and your phone is on my pillow. And there's
And
a
what
bunch
was the
of shit.
STD that you got that you were okay with?
It was trick something,
Right.
and it's gone. You know,
And
it's,
now no phones. Listen, I understand. I would like to give you a little bit of grace and say, I understand you're being self-deprecating to these people to make them feel safer, but you're putting yourself down, and phones are disgusting. And that's why I want you guys to check out Phone Soap. Go to phonesoap.com/Tyso for 20%. No, they don't really sponsor my podcast, but I have a phone soap. Do you guys know about Phone Soap?
I have phone wipes.
I use alcohol wipes. No.
Sure. And give your left hand to each other. But at the end of the day, you're wasting all this stuff. You're also rubbing off the paint at a certain point. You're losing that glossiness. Phone Soap, you put it in for 10 minutes. It's ultraviolet rays. Does it work? I don't know. But does it give me peace of mind?
Oh.
Totally. And you put it in there.
think I
like
have
it's
one
like
of
what dentists use.
I don't like it.
You haven't tried
It's
it.
like what
I
they
know
use
I
at
don't
the
like
nail
it. I get
salon.
vibes from photos. I don't like
Buddy,
it.
you get vibes from photos. Pull up trick and whatever again.
Yeah.
Is that what it looked like
I
for
had that
you?
real end. The
Is that what it
was-
looked like?
No.
Well, then
It was-
sometimes STDs, you can't judge an STD by the picture on Google.
You're right. It was just a lot. There was a lot of pus leaking out, and then your underwear are like all,
And this reminds you of it?
No, he.
No,
brought
what I'm
it
saying
up.
is he's getting vibes. Imagine the vibes that we're getting from looking at your dick.
That was
Can
the
I say
guys in
that?
the back. Yeah, that was the guys in the back who did that. I would never have made you look at that. You have to blame Zola.
I
no.
I
What I-
asked for it.
What I'm saying is, us looking at that thing wasn't what it really was to you. So you
Now I
seeing
get
the
it.
phone soap.
Now I get it. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Please move to Austin.
We'll be right back.
Packing for a big trip this holiday season. I know packing all of my winter gear is such a hassle during this time of year. Everything is so bulky, and forget fitting everything into a carry-on. Well, we have recently discovered Unbound Merino. It's a travel clothing company that is perfect for every traveler in your life. Unbound Merino was created by 3 lifelong friends who were looking to solve the age-old problem of how to pack light but also look great when jet setting. Their merino wool clothing allows travelers to pack lighter, save on checked baggage fees, and spend more time focusing on creating memories. Unbound offers timeless, versatile clothing that will have you looking great in any situation. And trust me, it'll save you from the inevitable decision fatigue that comes with packing. Unbound Merino's clothing is made of merino wool, which is moisture wicking, temperature regulating, and extra comfortable for all sorts of travel. I personally got this like black pullover with this half zipper. It's super chic. I can wear it with jeans, sweatpants. I love it. So give them a shot and use our code PAL for 10% off at Unbound Merino. Today's episode is sponsored by Acorns. Acorns makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing for you, your kids, and your retirement, even during the holidays. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you. You don't need a ton of time. You can create your Acorns account and start automatically investing your money in just 5 minutes. And you don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now. And that could be just $5 a day or even just your spare change. That's right. Acorns can round every purchase you make up to the dollar and automatically invest your spare change for you. And you can get bonus investments just for buying the stuff you need from the brands you love. I cannot recommend this enough. It's investing in yourself and your future, and Acorns makes it so easy. So head to acorns.com/nottoday or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/nottoday.
So, yeah, phones in bed are gross.
It's
Yeah.
really bad for me. It's really bad. Like I there's no alternative but to like, okay, we have to change everything on. And then like in the beginning of dating somebody, they keep forgetting because they
Sure.
put their phone, and it's a constant thing. And it's very hard. You know what's something else that I really
You have to understand, he used to live like
A hoarder.
a slob.
Like a full hoarder before the STD.
Like the
name of your
most
book.
disgusting ever.
Right.
To the point where he never let me come to his apartment until a few months ago.
Yeah, I have a photo. I'll show you. It's just full hoarder. It's
Wait.
not even like.
As of a few months ago?
Meaning that's
No,
the first
she
time I've
just
ever
started
been to one
coming
of his
over.
places.
But that was also because we didn't live in the same city
Right,
for a
right,
long
right,
time.
right.
Got it.
Yeah, but in
then
between like that, when we
COVID.
did live in the same city, but I also just had like 15 of my 18-year-old friends sitting there smoking weed all day, like drinking. I wasn't gonna be like, Jamie, come over. She's a nice lady, you know.
You know what? You're always ending up with a turtle, aren't you? We'll be right back. So I have the phone soap down like close to when you walk in. And I ask people to put their phone in the phone soap right
I
away.
like it.
For 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So if I
That's
walked in
tough.
like this, I got to take it out of the case and put it
No,
in the
keep it
phone
in the
soap.
case.
Keep it in the case.
Keep it in the case.
Okay.
Yeah, keep it in the case.
Has
It's
anybody
actually-
ever said no to you?
No.
No.
I don't make people do it. I used to. Now I'm. So when it's podcast guests, I have a blanket down and I have a tray. Brown blanket, brown tray. We like to say, that's right. Keep it on the brown. And anything they want to do, and then I wash everything when they leave.
How do you wash it?
I washing machine with a blanket. The tray I don't always.
Oh,
wash.
okay.
The tray I clean sometimes, but it's kind of like the tray.
Yeah.
So
Tray soap.
I went to school with a tray soap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the idea of like how to differentiate it between women who I'm going to, can I say give an orgasm to?
You sure can.
Sure.
I give an orgasm. I don't give an orgasm. I'm just there while she has one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so disgusting how men think that we give women orgasms. You know, they know what they're doing
You
with
can
their bodies.
help.
I could help, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna.
Good.
I'm going to help. But like,
That'll work out for you.
yeah, I don't know. Everything that's going on in the world right now, I just think there's two things I know. I think clean your phone, and women should choose what they do with their bodies. Wow. And I know,
Preach.
but at the end of the day, choose what you do with your bodies in your house, and mine, indoor clothes. And that's where it gets a little bit kinky, because if a girl's going to come into my bed with her outdoor clothes, I'm not trying to get her naked yet. Sorry, thought I had a sneeze. I'm not trying to get her naked yet, but like I will offer her some indoor clothes, usually my merch. So when she has to change, she's not going to forget, you know?
Yeah.
Also, floor
Totally.
bags. A lot of women don't know what a floor bag is.
Nope.
You do.
I don't know what a floor bag is.
Do you have a purse?
No, I don't bring a purse ever.
And if you do, where would you put it?
Never on the floor.
Not a floor bag. Come on in. But a lot of people will put their bags on the floor and then they'll put it on the couch or something. And it's like,
Disgusting.
and I'll say, is that a floor bag? And they say, what does that mean? Does it go on the floor?
Can I tell you my number one?
I'm in the middle of something.
Sorry.
And at the end of the day, no, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
No, I can't now. It's mine.
When
Stop
people
it.
put suitcases on their bed
That's
to
what
pack,
that was
what
my
the
see how we that's why we pod together, because when you
Each other's
shut
sentences.
you shut me down,
I picked it up.
I pass it over to her.
Is there, at a certain point, I did shut you down. I did shut you down.
It's okay.
But the fact that you actually felt shut down, I think that's on you. I'm doing bits. I said, I'm sorry. I said, go ahead. We're trying to play. You're a fan of my podcast. Let me do my bits.
I saved my bits
You
for
were
the
just
airport.
telling him to not put himself down, and now you're telling him to.
There's a
I
difference
can't keep
between
up.
putting yourself down with something that you don't accept about yourself
Okay.
versus self-awareness, where maybe you're feeling like, oh, they're being mean to me, and you're getting in your own way. That's phonesoap.com/Tyso for 20% off.
See, it's not about me. I don't want
Wow.
to feel bad fucking up your flow. I wanted you to come here and just flow. So I feel like if I'm getting in the way of that,
Oh, that makes sense. Not at all. I'm unbelievably flattered that you knew who I was at all. I don't know how many episodes you've watched of mine, but not enough, because I talk about The Sopranos often. Love. In fact, small world, an ex-girlfriend and a very good friend of mine, Jackie Tone. Do you know Jackie?
I love Jackie Tone.
Do you remember Jackie from?
Of course I do. We
'Cause
had a great time.
we're just
and I've
regular
run into
people,
her,
right?
and
It
I'm
was
so
30 years
happy
ago
for her
almost.
right now with her show. She's crushing it. I love. Anytime I see her, if I run into her, please tell her I say hi. I adore her.
If I remember.
is she
That's the thing I do. It's the thing I do. I don't like to say
Very
yes if I don't
honest.
know.
Very
but I
honest.
think I'll remember.
You might.
was she an outside clothes kind of gal?
She played Silvio Dante's daughter.
Good on you.
I remember stuff from the first season.
Yeah. and
Sometimes we do Who Knows Less About Sopranos, which is like they ask
he'll
us
get it right for sure.
a thing. And that would have been a great question. Did Silvio Dante have a daughter? I would have said no.
she, I don't want to put her on blast, but she says it. She's so funny. She's a great actress. And whenever I rewatch the show all the time. So whenever I do, I send a screen grab of her, you guys playing soccer together. And she always goes, oh, I was so new. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. And she was like, felt insecure about that. And I was just like, you're in the greatest show of all time. And anyway, the fact that you remember is really funny and cool. And this is awesome. You should watch the show. What I was going to say if I moved here is we should do, what's the Sopranos podcast called?
Which
Talking
one?
Sopranos.
Talking Sopranos,
Yes.
yeah. I've watched a bit of it. And they go like into it and it's
Yeah.
cool. I would want to do one with you where I watch it and you don't and you've never seen it and I'm explaining the episodes to you and I'm doing act outs. That would be my pitch.
Will we have ads?
I hate to kick you right out of the pod, but I think it'd be great if we did
love it.
if
Let's
we
do
did
it.
a different person every episode, like me and you, and then somebody has to come on and explain the
that'd be
pod
great.
to us. Yeah. So
You could-
you
yeah.
you
You
create
could
you get
have
a
a piece of
creator
it.
credit. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and you could do episode 1 and the last
I
one,
would
like
have to do-
David Chase directed.
I would have to do
You
a
do
few-
the first and the
Wow.
last.
I would have to do more than the first. The pilot I have to do.
Yeah,
Obviously.
pilot.
and then the last.
And the finale.
A lot of people don't like the
And a lot
pilot.
of-
What are
between.
some of your favorite episodes? Or is this ruining it for our new pod?
A lot of people
No.
don't like the pilot. A lot of people hate the pilot. When they rewatch, I know people who say they don't watch the pilot.
That's not okay.
I do. A big fan. Joe Perino. He's like, I do not like the pilot. It feels like a different show. He says he doesn't like
All
it.
pilots are a different show.
Yes.
But no,
Agree.
Stop shutting me down.
I'm hyping up the show.
What's some of your favorite episodes?
It's gotten its praise. Now it's my turn.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think the pilot sucked.
Thanks.
Okay.
I'll do your podcast. What are we calling it? Not Talking Sopranos. Explain
That.
now. Not Talking Sopranos.
Let me show you the Sopranos.
Ooh.
And it's
Wow.
got to be act outs. You have to have people who are not just going to like tell you plot points.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
You know?
Yeah, they've got to give us some dialogue,
Yeah.
some accents.
Are there things you don't like about the show?
No. And the show has something that isn't exclusive to Sopranos, but it has it, which is it's a world that like you believe. Sopranos and anything Vince Gilligan does is so slow in a way where like I think people think you can't move this slow because shows don't really do it. But like I can't think of examples right now and I would love to. If I do, I'll bring them up. But like there are moments where it's just like I'll tell you one. I don't remember what episode it is, and I don't remember what was happening before. But your mom and dad, can I say it that way?
Yeah.
Are things are not going great. Spoiler alert. And he comes home. She's already home, and there's I think it's over a minute because I watched it twice. I was like, how long was this? And they're not fighting. What is it? There's a little bit of tension, and he sits down at the table, and she's looking through her mail, and you see that she's okay enough with him to show him something, but they're not really talking. And there's no story. It's a minute. There's no dialogue, or maybe just bills or whatever it was. And we're just like seeing this tension resolve, kinda. And it's like, that was incredible.
It does sound
and
good.
nothing happened. And that happens throughout the show where like you feel like you start to understand some of these characters, not just their motivations, but like they become real people
Yeah.
because you're seeing them just sitting there looking at stuff. And so putting it on, it gives you this feel of like, this sounds corny, and not that I'm always feeling lonely, but it feels like I'm not alone. It feels like I'm not just distracting myself. I'm not just watching something that's entertaining. It's like, oh, I'm going to step into this world. I'm going to go into New Jersey. Incidentally, a now ex of mine, but I was dating a girl who lives in New Jersey for a few years, and I spent a lot of time in New Jersey. And this most recent rewatch, I'm like I know all of the places from the opening, and I watch it and I just like feel, pardon me, I'm gushing. It's just I
No.
feel like I'm in a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's David Chase also said one of the things he hated about like TV before he did a show was that when writers, director giving you what the audience wants. So he's like, anytime I'm faced with a thing, I don't want to give them what they want. When I see, okay, the audience wants to know what happened with this guy, I'm going a completely different way. They want them to hug and kiss and make up. I'm going to make it so this. And I think that kind of changed things because I see that a lot now in TV and I love it. Like I hate it in that moment and I go, oh, that's the thing David was talking about.
Do you watch Seinfeld?
Love.
Yeah.
Do you remember when George realizes that all of his instincts are wrong, so he
Yeah,
has to do
yeah.
the opposite of it?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
just made me think of.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a single 40-year-old. I live with my mother, and he's
Yeah,
on
what
a
are
date.
you doing later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. So can you? What are your? I want to know your things. Like how mine I think if a woman puts a suitcase on a bed, it's devastating.
How
Whoa,
is she getting?
you okay?
Yeah, how is she getting into your room?
Like if we're
a
traveling somewhere,
suitcase.
you're at a hotel and they put the suitcase on the bed to like get in their stuff. It's dead to me. Like the bed
Yeah.
is dead to me. I'm like, no, there's no like getting over this for me. I'm
Sure.
like, we need to
'Cause
change
that was
rooms. I need to
wheeled
call.
through an
You need to
airport
change rooms.
and
You
a
just
lobby
change the
and-
sheets.
Right, I'm saying we need to do some. Yeah, it has
Yeah.
to be because it's like it's also the bag sitting with all the other bags while we're flying, and I'm like, you're
Of
getting
course.
everyone.
Do you
it
wipe your
drives
wheels
me-
down when you get home?
No, I have my suitcase in like one specific thing that doesn't
it.
touch anything.
But how do you unpack it? Where do you put it when you're unpacking it?
I put it in a corner in my apartment.
suitcase
and
corner.
I'll clean
Got it.
and I'll clean that area. But I'm also like I hate traveling, so I do it once a
Same.
year. It's the fucking work, but you have to do it for.
I just
comedy,
started.
no?
I just started touring this year.
Really.
I hate traveling so much, and I wasn't able. At least I didn't believe I was able to sell enough tickets to make it worth it to fly a certain way in the state. The way I need things to be a certain way, and I still absolutely hate it. But
How long, when you walk into a hotel room, do you ever get comfortable, or how long would it take you to get where you're like, okay, I'm comfortable in here now?
I love a hotel room. I don't like getting to the hotel room. Love a hotel room.
But are you like, okay, I have to clean the remote? Like, I have to clean the remote. I have to clean
I just recently stopped cleaning the remote,
wow,
and it's a
congratulations.
conscious choice, and I don't love it, but it's been good for me. Wow. I'll still like won't use the remote while I'm eating. I won't put the remote. Like I try not to have the remote on the bed.
Yeah,
How do you
never.
do that? You're in a hotel. You watch TV in bed. Like,
Nightstand.
Nightstand.
Always. Yeah. See, Jamie is so Jamie's like, she wants to walk barefoot through the world. Like, she has none of.
That's great.
Fantastic. And that's that's one thing I want to ask you too is like, do
I
you
have a no
wanna-
shoe home.
You have a no shoe home, but also when people wear their
Name
shoes
my
in
podcast
there,
and take your shoes off.
Yeah, when people wear their shoes in there, you're fine with it. You're
Well, because here's
I'm
the
not.
thing. I'm actually
you have
not,
kids,
but
it's
I'll be
gotta be
like, no, it's
different.
okay. Because when people are like, do you want me to take my shoes off? I wish they could see the pile of shoes in the front of the house and just like, no.
Why not just say yes? It's like you're treating it like guests wearing
I
headphones.
feel like I'm being a bad host by asking you to take your shoes off because what if you're somebody that just really doesn't want to take
Okay.
off your shoes?
Can I take it from here?
Help me.
please.
Okay. I'm a boundaries brat. Okay.
I'm a boundaries brat. You need to
good
make
merch.
that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good
good.
merch.
So like the idea, you're like, oh, it's on me. I'm an idiot. I suck. I'm so sorry. I'm weird with phone stuff. It's like you don't like that, and I do believe that like everybody has things. We maybe have more than the average person, but everybody has things. And when you frame something as, I'm so sorry, but then it feels like it's a to-do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you
when I do it the other way, I feel like I've had women think I think they're gross, and I don't want I feel.
You could communicate something like without putting like, listen, I have OCD and I think phones are disgusting. Mine too. I don't like phones on the bed. In fact, I don't even want to bring them upstairs if that's okay. Like something like that.
Yeah, well, that's in the vein of like how I do it. Yeah, I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, for the shoes stuff, if you're being a bad host, if people don't want to have their shoes off, then don't come over. Do you think they're going to stop coming over?
What if it's like, for instance, this past Sunday, somebody came over and they were going to stay with me for the night. And my kids were giving her a little tour around the house. And halfway through the tour, she's like, should I take my shoes off?
She's got to know more than anybody
But
because
how did
she's
she
not.
get that far?
They got in the house too fast.
It's kind of like when you meet somebody.
She doesn't have OCD. That's why she doesn't. That's why.
Right,
it's
but I
okay.
wasn't thinking
Nobody
about
gets
it.
in my place
Yeah, I
too
wasn't
fast.
like
The
needing
shoes
to
are
go
off.
clean
I
where
forgot.
she was.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even notice before. I really prefer to have your shoes off. Would you mind taking your shoes off?
Right now,
Yeah.
I would love to.
No, I'm saying that's what you say to the person. Dramatic acting.
That was so convincing. I understand why you're an award-winning
I have so
actor.
many things. You have to just be okay with them. And if you're not, figure that out.
Yeah.
But if you are, you just gotta like, and you find your people that accept that.
Yeah.
For sure. But I've also had my friends who accept me for that. And then later down the line, they tell me like, I think you think I'm gross.
I'm sorry that I understand why you would feel that way. I'm sorry. That isn't the case.
Totally. But I try in the beginning to make it very much about me, not about them, to
Right.
not make them feel gross. Especially the last thing I want to make a woman coming over my place to sleep with me feel is that I think she's gross.
Yeah, it's a tough place, and I'm not saying this is right, but I really am in the mentality of I want to know how people receive me. I want to be generous. I want to be kind. I also do not take your feelings on as my responsibility. I can't. I have enough. I'm skipping all over the fucking place. I can't add that to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, if people feel that way, then like, I don't know. Then they gotta. And at the same time, I'm telling you, sometimes don't wipe your remote down, literally or figuratively. Find your thing.
There's other stuff I could do. The hotel remote
Doesn't
thing
have
is
to be
not
that one.
it. Yeah, yeah.
But so COVID, I got bad. I got real bad during
See,
COVID.
COVID made me less of a germaphobe
Ooh, interesting.
because I knew people were being cleaner.
Got it.
And I fucking loved it. I was like, oh my God, these people,
People
like,
learn how to wash their hands.
my
finally.
friends would be like, yeah, I didn't know you were supposed to wash your hands coming out of the bathroom. And I was like, ugh. And then,
Do you wash your hands when you're by yourself at home when you go pee?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Yeah, no way.
Do you want other people to?
No, it's fine. And whatever people do in there, like, I've built this thing around me, so where that I assume everyone's gross, and I think that's where they get the feeling that they're gross from me.
Yeah, I connect with that. But the thing is, they are.
I know, yeah,
Right?
and so am
I mean,
I.
we're creatures.
Yeah, it's all, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I've been sitting on my couch with an STD with 6 days till the doctor's appointment,
Clip it.
going, you're so gross, like sitting there being like, you're so disgusting, dude. Like this is gross. Like this whole thing is gross. So it's like I think I'm gross. I think people are gross. I think it's all gross.
Gross.
But then there are certain scenarios when I'm on a beach or like certain things like that where like it kind of goes away,
I know.
which is very strange.
No, it's my house, my place is a thing. I love camping. I want to be out in the dirt. I'm not afraid of that stuff.
Yeah.
I love sweating or playing sport. Like if you run into people, you touch people. But then once I go home, or if
Yeah.
it's something that's going to go into my home, I need to like quarantine it.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's where obviously you can't do it in a hotel, you said, even though you're not at home, because that's like your home for the day.
Yeah.
But like, my aunt has this guest house at this place that I went to, and this was during COVID, and I'm washing potato chip bags in the sink in soap and water, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I go there, and I didn't wash chips, and I washed my hands before I ate, but like I was good, and I was just like, oh right, it's a choice, and it really changed. And then I went back home and it was still bad, but so much better.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
being on a beach or wherever your thing might be, where you realize, oh, I'm okay. When I started doing I stopped for like 2 years during COVID. When I started again, I would go on stage, take the mask off, wipe down the microphone, and I would have to like make my first bit about my OCD or something to acknowledge what it was. And then there was a time where I wanted to try something, and doing that, opening that way, cannibalized what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to not do it. And I touched the microphone and I didn't wipe it, and I felt gross. And then afterwards, I felt fine. And like that, it was like, I still have OCD, but like it changed so much.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know exposure therapy is a real thing, and maybe you have to do it over and over again. But I think it's the combination of exposing yourself to it, but also not feeling forced, but like having some type of a logical reason to do it.
Yeah.
And then it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So that's what I've learned. But when it comes to like the opposite sex or something, I do have like, hey, I want to like let you know a little bit about me before you waste your time.
You're a boundaries brat.
100%. Yeah. So do you want to, how do you want to raise your kids if you want children? Are you going to try and not have them think about
Yes.
the germs?
I think that I'm going to still let logic run its course. If you have poopies on your fingers, let's take care of that. I just got a dog who you met a little
So
bit ago.
cute.
Yeah.
You got to clean up poo-poos.
I'm fine. Part of
Wait, do you
I'm
wipe
fine.
his paws when he gets home?
Yeah, you have to. Right?
yeah, every
Yeah.
time, and it's annoying because then it's like, I want to
But
take
he
him
gets
out.
it down.
Oh, he's
like,
great.
He's
He
so
lifts.
He-
He goes. So I do the either the left or the right, the front back of one side.
Yeah.
I do those. He lifts for the back leg, and then I go turn around, and he turns around, and I pick up the
What a
front,
good
and then he picks up the left.
boy.
It's so cute.
Has he ever? Because here's what I fear about getting a dog now. Has he? When he lays down on like the concrete, are you
Yeah.
then like I have to give him a bath?
So I did at first.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is what I'm talking. And part of the reason I got a dog was this.
You grow.
And also, like, I don't leave my house much, maybe like you.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
made me go out all the time now.
Right.
So I wiped the paws, and when you do this, so it got to the point where it bothered me. And then it was like, okay, well, I will, he'll be on the blanket still. And then I wasn't letting him sleep in bed with me because of that. I wanted him to, but because of that. And then he jumped in my bed, and he got on my pillow. And he looked so cute. And I did not like it. And he also looked so cute. And I'm like, that's your pillow now. And I changed. I had a pillow. I had my pillow. It was different. And whenever he gets in the bed now, I just lean him over to know to go to his pillow, not mine. And that's his pillow now. And I think that's a disgusting, filthy fucking pillow that I'm fine with it being in my bed. And I want him there.
We do have My Pillow as a sponsor. If you could.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What's the promo code?
Not today.
Go. Let me hear you do the ad read. I don't know enough about it.
No. You're the guest. Please.
Oh, you make your guests do your ad reads for
Yeah,
made
yeah.
up, made
Two
up brands?
pillows.
Well, it's your thing. You know, it's kind of your.
You don't really have them. As
I don't
want
want to step on your. Yeah. Ever since Trump got in, we have My Pillow.
Oh, you just got them in?
Yeah.
I haven't used it. I don't want to. I don't sell stuff that I wouldn't use myself.
You're an actor. What if you had to?
Not
what
a,
if
but as a spokesperson, you play yourself, and
this
that's
is a
about
union,
credibility.
This is a union job.
Have you ever seen The Sopranos?
No.
You don't know how this works. The thing is, having a dog made me better.
Yeah, you grow.
So I think a kid would.
Kids for
Yeah.
sure.
More so.
Yeah, because I struggle with that. Where I'm like, what's the boundaries if I were? I don't think I want kids, but if I were to have kids, where do you kind of like? I don't want them to be
Correct.
disgusting, but I also don't want you.
Your trauma to rub off on them.
Yeah, like I know Cutter's like wash your hands, but it's reasonable, right? Or is it not?
Yeah, it just creates a lot of stress.
For the kids. Yeah, I know.
Like when we're getting home from the baseball fields, when we're pulling into our neighborhood, he's like, we're stripping it down when we get in, as if we don't say that every time we get in.
Yeah.
And then we're pulling into the drive, strip it down. They're walking towards, strip it down. And, we do. We pop them in the laundry room. They have to take off all their clothes, their cleats, everything in the laundry room. And then they run naked through the house to their showers. They cannot.
That's how I am when
They
I get off
have
the
to
plane.
go shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that with planes too. But honestly, now my 11-year-old, he asks to shower multiple times a day sometimes, where he'll just be like, I just want to shower. I think he feels the
That
reset
sucks.
from it. No, but not in a bad way.
To shower multiple times a day?
But it's
You feel
also
like
like
you
I'm
have
talking
to?
like twice.
you
No,
don't
he
live
doesn't
here
feel
yet.
like he has to.
It's 110
he enjoys
degrees
it.
here.
Got
Like
it.
all
He
the
enjoys
time.
it. Like I'm appreciative that my husband being forceful about getting clean has gotten into him where he likes feeling clean. It doesn't seem like a problem yet. We'll
Right?
see.
Is it like something bad's gonna happen to me if I don't shower, or is it I'm dirty?
Right,
You
right.
know? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. You
we'll
hope
see.
it's.
And then I'll blame him.
Uh-huh. When you go to his house, do you have to, what is that like?
It's just take
I
your
take.
shoes off.
You told me
Anything
not
else.
to though.
No, well, I feel, but it's
See?
whatever you want to do.
Because that's what I said when I came. I'm like, do you want me to take off your shoes? He's like, you don't have to. And I was
Because
like,
I
well,
know
I'm
she's
taking
gonna.
off my shoes.
But also, it's like a whole production.
Cutter didn't take off his shoes though, did he?
He did one time. He did one time. He didn't.
Does he take him off at your house?
Oh, we all do. Yeah.
Please.
My Uncle Bob does this.
Mm.
If you don't take your shoes off at your house and you come into mine and don't take your shoes off, oh, okay, I'll just let you know. But if you take your shoes off at your house and you don't take it off at mine, what are we doing
It's
here?
rude.
Have you been to Japan?
No.
Because I never want to travel anywhere, and everyone's like, you would go to Japan and never come
I
back.
was just gonna say, I think Rob, if you went to Japan, we'd never see.
It's
you
like
again.
the dirtiest place there is like the cleanest place here.
I do want to go.
I want to. Should we? Is that our adventure?
I mean, listen, I don't know you. I'm also, it's on the table because I was going to go alone. And like, that's a fun thing to do.
Well, can
Okay.
I come?
Can you? Could you leave your family to go to Japan for, I'm guessing you want to go for a month or two?
Can we do it? Can we end the pod as a to be continued, and this is it?
Do it in Japan? Hey, listen, I'll do almost anything for a bit. Part 2 in Japan.
Should we go? You're headed to the airport. We could just.
Could we watch the pilot together on the plane.
You can watch the whole show on the plane.
Yeah. Should we watch it in Japanese?
What do you think the birds flying away meant?
See, you got
The ducks?
Yeah, I know what they meant.
What?
Everyone's like, "What?" Well, you know.
You tell me.
Well, you tell me.
No, I don't know.
Do you not?
I don't.
This is the children.
They symbolize his family,
of course.
and then they're flying away and they're leaving him,
Yeah.
or
Best part of
he's
the
leaving
show.
them.
It was my favorite part of the show.
Did you see the pilot? I don't remember. You see nothing.
I mean, I was 12, so I just don't remember.
You saw
anything.
episode 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Dude,
they
you
would
gotta watch.
every season they would make you sit and watch
Would make you.
the first 2 episodes at the premiere.
sit
We had like
down.
Radio City, but it was fun because like your friends are there and
Sure.
people are there, whatever. You're not
Also,
like
did you
sitting.
feel like, oh, I'm part of something? Like, did you enjoy that part of it?
No,
No.
I love the
you too young?
friendship. I loved like my friends
No, he
on
just
there. and
doesn't
this.
care.
Yeah, but I don't. A part of something. That's all.
When you go to
I
a
never feel like
thing
I'm part
and
of
there's
anything.
free food and you get the good parking and the good car.
That's my
it's
whole
just
life.
fun.
Bud.
Nice. You're the man. Thanks for the right. I
Yeah.
knew you didn't need the left. So,
We're coming to LA in January, so we would love to be on your pod.
I would
I'm
love
inviting
that.
But I
us.
can't
Will
go
you
to
take your
his.
shoes off?
I can't go to his house.
I will take.
why?
I'm allergic to your dog.
I'll put the dog somewhere.
No, it doesn't work that way. I have asthma. I go full.
Can you
full
sit out
hospital.
on the window?
I'll sit out on the window and she could sit inside.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big setup.
Well,
Wait a minute. I put down a clean blanket.
no, it doesn't matter. It's in the house. It's cats, dogs. I have asthma. I'll have full asthma attack. Go to the hospital. It's like the worst thing. It's hard. I love dogs. I wish it didn't happen. If you had a hypoallergenic like she does, I'd be all up in his face.
All right. Well, maybe I'll just get. I don't like getting a studio when I'm in LA.
I'll sit on the terrace. Can we bring that back, or is that only a COVID thing? Would you bring it back for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I could walk through. I don't have to climb up. I could walk
Yeah.
through. Yeah.
What
Take
I would
my
like to
shoes
pitch
off.
to you is I do a
Please.
nice deep clean. I keep the dog upstairs.
It just
You
does.
sit
It's not
there-
worth it. I promise. It's
Okay.
I don't want to go to the hospital. It's like your lungs close. It's like your throat closes. I mean, it's the most. It's probably like the worst.
Why don't we
thing
just
I
do it in
feel.
Japan then? I do a thing called the sleepover series when I take it on the road.
Yes, love it. Adam Ray used to do
Or
it.
should we
right?
go to a
See?
hotel and
Huh?
see how
Huh?
we could do it in a hotel in a room and just see?
So
Oh no,
use-
they have a
laugh.
studio also. We can get a studio out there if you want to use their.
when
studio.
I'm in
Whatever you
LA,
want.
I like to do it at where I
I
do
mean-
it.
And we do the
That makes
terrace.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll do
listen,
that.
I just can't.
Wow.
You know,
This
you-
is complicated.
Yeah.
We'll make it work. I'll make it
we're,
work.
We're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you watch this Entourage?
Yeah, I did. I was a fan of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
You didn't let
Yeah.
it ruin it for you. Like go. When
No,
once you
because
were on.
honestly, when I was on
Would
it,
you
it
watch
was
it with
just
Jerry?
supposed to be a one-off. Was not his girlfriend yet. Like we started dating after I finished the first season. I just was supposed to do a one-off, like a one funny play yourself cameo.
Mm.
And then Doug Ellen, the creator, when we finished that episode, was like, I kind of like the idea of you and Turtle. Like, could I bring you back for just a couple of more this season? I was like, of course. This is one of my favorite shows. I would love it.
Was it under contract that only if you agreed to kiss drama?
That was so awkward. Because at that
In
point.
real life?
Yes, because
You
that.
kissed him on the show.
Yeah.
And that was a story point that Turtle didn't like.
And because also at that point, I was Jerry's girlfriend. So I
Wow.
was kissing his friend.
Right.
Like, it was all very weird. I forgot about that.
Coincidentally, another one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
I grew up in Cleveland, and I would watch that show, and I thought that's what LA was like. So when I moved to LA, I'm like, oh, it's Entourage. And then after like a few years, I realized, oh, no, it's not. But now that I've been there long enough, it really is.
I was going to say, but are you sure?
No, yeah, it
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
And the season, the series goes like this for different reasons. I love all of it, but like the first 2 seasons are legitimately unbelievable. I love the whole series.
Yeah.
But the first 2 seasons of that show are just great television.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a boundaries brat, but you're an HBO baby. Great shows. When you walk in my place, I have posters of Queens Boulevard and Aquaman and stuff.
cool.
I'm a big fan.
And now, of course, you'll have something to resemble this.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I am
Whatever,
excited about
table.
you guys coming on.
I love because it's something like this, just to show your
Oh,
fandom.
yeah, look at this.
Yeah, something like that.
Do you have an interest in going to Japan?
I didn't till now.
Japan is your left hand.
Japan is my left hand.
It would be so nice. He won't do it. It's all
Japan-
about him. That's the
Japan?
problem. Yeah.
For Japan.
Your whole thing's all
For
about.
Japan.
I'm gonna have to do it.
But
For
it's-
Japan.
that would be like saying, "Hey, can I walk in your house with my shoes on?" And you'll be like, "Okay, I guess."
No. It would be. I believe it would be more like if somebody said, "Hey, you're in my place, and I took my shoes off in your place. Now you're in my place." I don't usually ask people to take their shoes off, but would you take yours off?
That's what
And I
you're
would-
doing.
and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I would say, okay. I would say, yeah, you took your shoes off in my place. I did the thing for you. And then you go, hey, whatever. I do the thing for you.
Okay.
You know. We'll
Thank
see you in
for
Japan.
coming.
Thank you for coming. We'll see you in Japan. This is really
Oh, did it get too aggressive?
Well, they only give
No,
us
we're
30
supposed
minutes
to do
episodes,
30.
and we did 53.
53.
So, is this going to be a part tour?
yeah. I mean,
Our first part tour?
Lauren Compton said we wouldn't last 10 minutes with you.
I'll tell you something. Well, I guess since we're opening the door about Laura Compton talking shit, I have
She
done.
couldn't keep up?
She couldn't keep up. Oh no, that's up to her to decide. I don't like to judge people's speed.
She's great. I love her.
She's fantastic. Really funny stuff, Lauren.
I've
I've done probably 400 podcasts.
It's a new side of. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Sorry.
and by the way,
Of who? Me?
no,
I wouldn't,
you.
I wouldn't have said anything,
I was like,
but I
what'd I
saw her
do?
talk. People sent me clips of her talking about it, even on other episodes.
She would never.
I watched the clips.
I'm not going to call you a liar. I'm just saying. She's from what I've
Watch the
gotten to
Pauly
know.
Shore episode. Okay.
Wow.
Here's the thing about that podcast. Not her, because I think she's so funny, and she's so funny. But here's the thing. Maybe watch something of mine before you have me on.
Sure.
Maybe do a Google search and be like, is Ricky a boundaries brat and a goofy boy? Answers are yes and hell yes. I'm doing bits. I'm being silly. And she's staring at my tits the entire time. And I'm like, then don't have me on. Then don't have me on.
I'm regretting having gone
I'm
right
doing
now.
bits.
This is.
Anyway, but
No.
it is a very funny
You're-
podcast. I've watched some of your stuff. The Mark Norman one's great. He was funny on it.
You're such a fantastic podcast guest, no matter what people
Yeah.
say around here.
I've enjoyed you.
Yeah. I mean,
I have.
We go to
You'll
Japan?
know if I don't, right, Robbie?
probably not.
Yeah.
I don't think
Have
you'd
you
tell
know
them.
about our celebrity beef? We'll
Oh,
tell you after.
let's not get into
We'll
that.
tell you
please.
up
That's
there.
the word. It's not a beef. It's water under the.
Not a beef.
Water under
Tell
the
me the
bridge,
celebrity
as we
beef.
say. No, it's not celebrity. James, don't rehash.
Do you talk
this
about it
fucking-
publicly?
We did. We
Tell
had
me
to-
about it.
It's so.
We'll put this on Patreon. Give me 2 more minutes.
We'll see you in Japan. Listen, I want to thank you. That was kind of a.
What? No
That-
bueno? What happened?
He's calling you an anti-Semite.
Thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
Jewish.
Listen, the world today there's a lot of stuff going on.
I'm not Italian. Did you not know that?
I-
Neither of us are.
To be honest with you, I didn't know anything. I assumed you were Jewish, and I just assumed it.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
You know Jackie Tone?
Yeah.
You guys got a thing.
We got yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a compliment. 'cause
But
I
it's
love
and
it.
it's also it can be mistaken for just Long Island.
Yeah.
Like any
But
woman from
most-
Long Island, you go,
Sure.
oh, you're Jewish.
Sure.
No, not at all. But it's it's a great. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, anyway, I just want to give a
You
a
did
plug
like
before we
a-
end. Check out the
please.
First Date
You did like a
podcast.
Hitler.
I did?
We did like a bit of a Hitler thing.
I don't think you did.
But then how'd you know what I
Because
meant?
this is what I do.
When did I do that?
Because I saw you go like this.
Yeah, but that could have been anything. But
Yeah, you have to be this tall to ride, maybe.
Yeah.
But I did it with my left arm, which doesn't mean that.
Always do it with the right. My name is Rick Glassman. You can check me out on the Take Your Shoes Off podcast, and you can check out my stuff at Glassman.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. And next week, we have a special guest, Bill Bellamy. Stay tuned. Cue
Guys,
music.
go check out Take Your Shoes Off. Incredible
Yes.
podcast, incredible podcast guest. I just thank you so much for being here and being open to talk about your OCD and all this stuff and being so funny.
I don't know you. I don't know you. I feel like you got some layers to you. I'm excited to have you on my podcast, and we're going to talk for a while and ask you a lot of questions. And we can
Anything.
bleep anything you want.
I'm not a big bleep guy, but we can, yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
dude.
I won't do what she did.
I
I
know.
won't do that thing.
I
but
went
anything
like
else?
this. Like goodbye.
Oh!
Look at my hand. Look at my hand, guys.
That'll be part of my airport bit. Anybody does anything,
Oh.
anybody waves the yeah.
It's nice to meet you guys.
Thank
So
you.
nice.
I think
to meet
I'll
you.
remember to tell Jackie.
Okay, good.
If she's ever in Austin, I'm going to try and set you guys up to have her on here.
Please.
We could make this a
Oh
clip.
my God, I would love it
We
so
could make
much.
this a clip and just tag her in it on Instagram so you don't have to tell her.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Jackie Tone, funny stuff.
Love you,
You should go on
Jackie.
First Date. I think you and Lauren would get together well.
Thank you so much for being here. It was a treat. See,
Thank you.
I have no qualms.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week, guys.
See you next week. Bill Bellamy. Good night.